So just all three of you, what are ways that's from last season, things that you've targeted and tried to improve your game on, if each of you would answer?
For me, the biggest thing was getting back healthy, and I think I've done that this summer. Haven't been on any pain in our workouts this summer. It's probably the first summer I haven't had to miss. And then just being more aggressive and being more consistent on the court for my teammates and for myself.
I would say being more aggressive and getting stronger in the weight room and being able to bang down there with all the posts in the SEC. So that's my goal, or my goal.
For me, it's more so about getting stronger, but then also taking care of my knee issues that I'd been having for the whole season. Even though I didn't miss a game, I was still dealing with knee problems, and so I feel like this summer I took the initiative with the help of Simone, our athletic trainer, and Dr. Yolanda, our doctor, to get it under control and make sure I can start the season and finish the season the same way.
And then Makayla, I counted it this morning. You've had 31 different teammates since you first started here as a freshman. And this is your first time to start practices, is you're the only one left from that first group you were with. Just what's that kind of walking into a gym and knowing that you're kind of that steady piece?
I mean, at first, definitely felt a little alone, just because it's a lot easier when you have somebody that can understand and relate to all the things you've gone through. But I mean, now it's kind of I've become comfortable with it, and it's I get to leave my mark on this team, and this is the last team I'll play with, and so I'm definitely gonna remember this team. And not that this is the best team, this is not. Wait, hold on. I don't want to say that in a bad way. This team is just going to be the team I remember, because, of course, you're going to remember your senior year. The other years are kind of a blur, but this one is going to be the team that I always remember.
And then, Sam, last year, was kind of just for the whole team a roller coaster. But, for you hit, kind of a rough patch in the year, but you finished so strong. I think that the last 8 games you averaged 17 points. Just what did kind of that close to the year do for you moving into the offseason and now another year?
It was kind of like a setting stone for this year. I know what I can do, and, every player goes through their rough patches during the season, so I'm just hoping that come this season, in order to help my team, that I don't have one of those rough patches. And if I do have a rough patch, it's not so much so in the scoring column. Maybe it's my minutes go down because, I don't know, something happens. But I just don't want it to be in the scoring column, because I know that when I don't score and put the ball in the basket, it's really hard for my team to, persevere.
Heading into the season with a lot of new pieces, people returning and adding in the press, what is your focus heading into this season? Really kind of put yourself on notice in the SEC to, not just fall on that non-conference schedule and really make noise in the SEC this year?
I think it's a big switch up from what we've been doing. Our conditioning has changed a lot, because now we're pressing, and we like to play fast, and when you add pressing onto that, when we first started it, we were tired, wore out, but now we're kind of getting back into shape, and I think it puts a different type of pressure on SEC teams. I mean, we know we're playing against skilled guards, but if we can take an extra 8 to 10 seconds off the shot clock, that's a win for us, because that's 10 less seconds they have to set up into their offense.
And Samara, how has the press been developing? You're really getting to work on it over in Europe, and then, of course, getting into fall camp. What would you say would be the best learning experience from implementing the press?
I think when we have the right people in there, it's great, honestly. We did it yesterday on our first day of practice. We basically started like it was day 11, not day 1. So for us, it was more so about perfecting and fine-tuning the stuff that we had gone over before we went to Europe. And so with our press, it looked pretty good to me, honestly, it did. We still had some tweaks that we had, but it was the first day back doing it, so it was just take that and build on it today and the rest of the week and make sure we get it perfected before we bring it out there on the court.
And Maryam, my last question's for you. With your knee, you're fully healthy now. Just the confidence you have and knowing you're going out there, you're 100%. What's that done for you in really implementing on your changes of your game this year?
It's made me really excited, because coming back this year, I felt like I'm 100% compared to where I was last year, and having that confidence stepping back on the court and feeling like my old self again. I'm looking forward to it, or being on the court with them this season. So.
This is Dylan Stewart with Arkansas Traveler. I just had a question for all three of you. What is the overall, I know we've only had one official practice of the season, but what is the overall chemistry and vibe of the team so far?
I would say it's pretty good. I mean, yesterday, well, I've had 4 first practices already, but yesterday, the first practice, that was one of the best ones we've ever had. There was no miscommunications. Everyone was giving max effort. I'm pretty sure everyone was hurting after yesterday, but it was very competitive. The new people caught on very quickly, so it wasn't a lot of stopping and talking and our coaches having to explain. It kind of just flowed the whole practice. So I would say it was one of the best first practices I've ever experienced.
Last year, I know that y'all kind of hit a spot where you felt like you should have been in the tournament, but you didn't make it. And I know that motivated y'all coming into this year, but it kind of seems like maybe y'all are a little bit under the radar as far as nationally people talking about teams. Do y'all like that, kind of that chip, or how do y'all feel about that?
It's just funny because it's we know what we're capable of. We know what we bring to the court every day, but it's just all going to come in a wave for everybody that's not putting us in conversations. And honestly, I feel like that works in our favor because it's going into games, people aren't knowing what we're capable of, and then we show it, and then they're like, oh, wow, they're a force to be reckoned with. So honestly, I feel like it's all in our favor, and I feel like it's a part of our plan as far as where we want to go during the season.
Question? Okay. Oh, yeah. Do you want me to say it with the mic? No mic or mic? Yeah. I think I'm loud enough.
Hey guys, whoever wants to take this one can, or if you guys all want to answer it. College basketball, especially on the women's side of things, has really grown in the past couple of years with the addition of NIL. We were at LSU this past weekend, and you see Angel Reese and Haley Van Lith, and they're walking around like celebrities, over the football players. And I think that it's really changing the atmosphere. How do you guys feel? Have you seen a difference from last season and heading into this season? How do you feel like there's a bit more, energy and eyes on you guys, especially with how much women's basketball has grown?
I think it's well-deserved. I think it should have happened a long time ago, and I just think it's so cool to see. I'm scrolling down Twitter and all I see is women's basketball stuff during football season, and not to say anything about football, but it's just this is what we deserve. We are putting in the same work that any other male sport is putting in. And so just to see those women in college basketball getting the recognition that they deserve is really cool to see.
And then maybe for Sam and Maryam, whoever wants to take it, but for you guys going to Europe and getting that extra practice in and getting the extra time. We talked about the chemistry of the team going to this season, but what did you feel like going to Europe really helped? Was it that chemistry side of things, or was it just getting that extra practice in before the season begins?
I think it helped a lot with our chemistry because going on the Europe trip, we got to know a lot about each other and knowing a lot about each other on the court, on and off the court, and coming back to practice yesterday, becoming our day 11 of practice, it's helped a lot, and I think it was more of a chemistry-wise trip for me.
Sam, is that the same for you?
Yeah, but I would also say it's just a teaser as to what we're getting ourselves into. Yesterday it was okay, I've been on the court with these girls before, I know what it is, so it's just I know what to look forward to, I know what to expect. So I feel like it was just a setting stone for what we were going to get ourselves into on our first official day of practice.
In the age of this whole transfer portal, you look at so many teams around the country and you don't even recognize some rosters. They are completely different top to bottom every single year. You guys are kind of the outlier. It's a pretty similar roster to last year, a few new additions. But how much does that help this time of year when, you guys all know each other? You've played with each other the last couple of years. It's not like, the program brought in 8 new players.
Somebody else can.
I would say it's an advantage for us just because we don't have to question okay, what is a game scenario like with this person? I feel like sometimes the transfer portal can be a good thing, but for us specifically, it wasn't what we needed. We needed fresh faces who hadn't been through any program before to come in and learn our stuff. So I just feel like it helps us, and I feel like it's great for us to know that we don't have anybody coming from a different program, coming from a different system. Everybody's here learning the same system or have been learning the same system.
And you have some players, who entered the transfer portal 2-3 times. I mean, you guys could have done that. Any of you could have entered the transfer portal. Why is it important for you guys to stay here and kind of finish what you've been starting the last couple of years?
I mean, for me, it's kind of like I love it here. There's nothing wrong with here, so it doesn't, it's not about NIL or whatever for me. Like, I could be making some NIL money, but then I'm in a program that I hate, and it's like here, a program that allows me to play freely. I fit the program. The coaches are great, so it's like, why would I leave and try to go build something somewhere else when the coaches are pouring into me and I'm just pouring as much into them? And it's kind of like, I started here and I want to finish what I started here.
Piggybacking on what Max said, staying home for me was a huge, I just love staying, and I love Arkansas, and leaving and going somewhere else and not having a coach believing in me or changing the way or changing my style of play to fit into their style of play. I just feel like staying home just fits perfectly for me. So.
I got one.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just really, all three of y'all, I want to talk about your depth and how excited you are coming into this fall camp, watching the growth between now and in the end, just how much better you can see yourselves getting.
I love it, honestly. I can now look forward to not having to play 40 minutes a game because there's no one who can come in and give us what I would give if I wasn't on the court. So I just love the fact that we have some young girls coming in who are able to follow in our footsteps and who are able to get on the court and do what they need to do to help our team win.
I think it takes a lot of pressure off of us, knowing that, okay, this might not be my game, but the person subbing in, it might be their game. Or just if I get in foul trouble, somebody else is coming in that can do just the same things that I can do. And so it's a lot of pressure taken off of us. We're not going into the game talking about, oh, I have to play good, psyching ourselves out. It's kind of like, we're going to go out there and play, we're going to have confidence, and if it's not your night, it's not your night, but it's going to be somebody else's night.
Thank you.